There is no denying that the chemistry between Nelly and Ashanti is electric. And just like the title of their new reality show, the two seem like they definitely belong together. Their attraction for each other is undeniable, and their energy together makes everybody want to root for them. The two give off major couples goals vibes, but there is just one ick that keeps popping its head out every now and then. Nobody can understand why Nelly just can't seem to stop trying to publicly embarrass Ashanti. Ever since it was revealed that Nelly and Ashanti had been secretly married for months, Nelly has been darn near screaming the quiet part out loud. Whether it's been in interviews about their relationship, or on their new reality show, or by getting taken in by 5-0, Nelly's definitely been on one. And despite his obviously real feelings for Ashanti, it's given off that Nelly feels like Ashanti trapped him in marriage because he's been acting out ever since the news came out back in June of 2024 that the two have been secretly married for 6 months.
Don't tell nobody.
When they do interviews together about their rekindled romance, and someone asks about the first time they met back in 2003, Nelly subtly brings up the time that his efforts to get with Beyonce at the Source Awards didn't work. A detail that was completely unnecessary for the purposes of that question or that interview. And when talking about the infamous Versus hug, regardless of the romantic spin everybody was trying to put on it, anytime it's brought up, Nelly makes sure everybody knows that he had no intentions for Ashanti.
As a man, though, how did you know if I get this opportunity again, I'm gonna lock
I
it
didn't,
down?
Charlamagne. I swear to God, I wasn't looking for it.
Wow.
He was there with another woman, that it was Ashanti who was rubbing his back. Ashanti's DJ gave Nelly her phone number, and Nelly didn't even reach out to Ashanti for months. And that was just to see if she wanted to ride the wave of publicity that the hug generated and make a bag by doing some shows with them. Now, it could be said that all those moves were just to ease his way back into Ashanti's good books, since he had hurt her so badly years before. But now that those moves have obviously worked, why does he constantly try to burst the romantic bubble? Like when another interviewer was asking Ashanti about their first date after having rekindled their relationship. Nelly barely lets her try to spin the romance before he tells everybody and her mother, who was actually in the room with them, that he had already got the draws by the time their first date happened.
The rekindle moves, our first date was Valentine's Day, Vegas. And I don't even think we planned it to be Valentine's Day. You know, it was just like, yo, come out. We was in Vegas.
Yeah, but I ain't got the draws before that.
Yeah, your mama right there, Nelly.
What you saying? Now that's his wife. What you mean? Her last name Haynes. Her last name Haynes.
That's right.
I bought the cow, the milk, the barn. I bought the barn, the cow, the milk. You see that right now? You see that right now? Hold on.
Sure, it's a kiki and everybody had a good laugh. But why does it seem like every time people try to big up the idea of their love story or emphasize the idea that he went after Ashanti like she was the prize, Nelly seems to go out of his way to try to humble her? And it doesn't stop there. When asked by one interviewer why he married Ashanti after all these years, based on their loved up behavior on social media, majority of people probably thought they would hear something like, she's always been the love of his life, or when you know, you know, or he finally got his second chance so he wasn't going to fumble it. Something that fit the reunited and it feels so good behavior that the two of them have been showing off in their concerts and posts. Nobody expected his response of, he didn't want her to be a baby mama. Nelly did another interview, and they asked him how he proposed, and he said he felt like he had to.
You proposed to her at home. She's in a pair of your boxers and a t-shirt of yours.
Yeah.
And
it was right after, man. I felt I had to.
Oh, it was right after.
Yeah.
Oh, good man. Good.
It was after they finished their bedroom Olympics, and they had just learned about the baby. So while he had nothing on and Ashanti just had his boxers and t-shirt, he popped the question. And when you hear a man say something like that, and not just once, the automatic assumption is that he feels trapped by an unplanned pregnancy. And with the level of media training and experience that Nelly has had over the years, it's obviously deliberate. Because with all them good old country grammar lessons, there's no way he doesn't understand the picture he's painting. And this time, Ashanti felt she had to clear it up. Because after finally agreeing to do the reality show that Nelly pitched to her, one of the first things that Nelly said was how their baby was the most planned baby ever. And Ashanti was mentioning that after she gifted Nelly with his dream car for his birthday before they got married, Nelly told her that the only way she could top that gift was by giving him a baby. It seemed like they were both trying to change the narrative that Nelly had created around their child. But then, in later episodes, when Nelly goes on to tell Ashanti how the baby was all her until he could walk and talk, how he wasn't getting up for night feedings or diaper changes, and how he had already told her this beforehand, and you add that to the fact that according to reports, just weeks after the baby was born, Nelly was arrested in the early hours of the morning at a casino for substance possession, it's very telling that he can be up to all hours for absolute nonsense, but not to help his wife take care of their baby. That's when his comment about being the most planned baby ever takes a new twist and gives off the idea that he was possibly hinting that Ashanti planned the baby. Because with some men, it doesn't matter if he told the woman he wanted her to have his babies, or if he talked about starting a family with her, or even if they weren't doing anything to prevent a pregnancy. If they're not married, a lot of the time, it's just the man saying what he's feeling in that moment, or saying what he thinks will get him what he wants. They throw the idea out there and wait to see what the woman is going to do. And unfortunately, a lot of women fall for it. And now the man can act like he's been tricked or forced into something outside of his own time frame, just so they can keep the upper hand and have the woman thinking that they have to work to keep the man. And that's what Nelly's behavior has been giving. He's boosting his ego at the expense of Ashanti's, basically gaslighting her so that he can keep the upper hand in the relationship, because he knows that Ashanti could have done a whole lot better than him. It's part of the Adam agenda, where subconsciously men act out in ways to humble the women they desire so that the relationship power dynamic shifts towards the man instead of the woman. And the moment Ashanti gave Nelly the goods before marriage is when that power shift started. And because she invested too much of herself in a man who didn't even have to take her on a date first, now anytime Nelly's ego needs a boost, she's let him develop the habit of taking it at her expense just to keep the good parts of the relationship. It's a dangerous trade-off, because although some of these little digs may seem harmless or like they were just said for a laugh, the longer it's allowed to continue, the more impactful they become to the relationship. So prayerfully, Nelly and Ashanti can get a handle on it and continue to have the beautiful, fun-filled relationship that everyone is rooting them on for. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.